This video is taking so much longer than I expected to get done, and I finally got to it. So let's discuss the villains of the 20-year universe that is the X-Men movies universe. This will be part one of either two or three, because there's a lot of villains to go over. Some great, some X-Men Origins Wolverine. Of course, opinions always vary, and if I dislike a character that you like, I'm really sorry. For example, I'm not a big fan of X-Men Origins Wolverine's Gambit, because I really like Gambit in the comics. I wasn't a big fan of what they did to him. But of course, you can like him. Just because I don't doesn't mean you can't. Anyways, let's get into it. Magneto, well, probably is the best villain in the entire franchise. Of the character is written to not be just a one-note foe. Well, I suppose it kind of was in the first appearance, but after that he's very complex. He's not exactly a villain. He's more just trying to help in his own way, but doesn't know exactly how to help, really. Both old and young versions of him really cared for his enemies. Mainly Charles Xaiver, and I really like how he had respect for him even after he died. It is a really intriguing plotline, in my opinion, and storyline. Although I will say I think their relationship kind of overshadowed really a majority of the storylines and characters. But even if it was overdone, they at least chose a really good storyline to overdue. As, like I said, I think they kind of overshadowed some of the Dark Phoenix and Apocalypse stuff that I think would have been more, like, comics accurate if that was more focused on. But either way, like I said, I really like Magneto, so I'm okay if he overshadowed characters like Apocalypse. Mystique, who is a very hard one. I didn't even know if I should include her on this list or on the heroes one, as, she wasn't really a villain in the when she died. So I put her here, and I really enjoyed the first Mystique. She had great fight scenes, but Jennifer Lawrence's version, I thought, well, it started off really good, and I like her being a third voice for mutants, making things not all black and white. But then she kind of just became the leader of the X-Men, which I have issues with, and then she was killed off in the most less secret way ever. The trailers gave it away, Jennifer Lawrence gave it away, Jessica Chastain gave it away. It was an odd choice to make it not even attempt to make it a plot twist. I thought that was very odd. It's a bold choice, but it's really, I'm not saying it's a bad choice, I'm saying it was an odd one. But I did like her character for the majority of the movies, but her character's ending I thought was very weak, and the way she went out I thought was really just out of character for her. I don't think she would have made that stupid of a move to walk towards Jean. Apocalypse. Well, I will say I personally actually liked X-Men Apocalypse, unlike a lot of other fans. I do agree that Apocalypse himself was the weakest part of the movie. The reason for my love of the movie is seeing the X-Men fight together as a team, and seeing the Four Horsemen in action. But Apocalypse I found him to be almost unwatchable. The reason I say almost is because Oscar Isaac is a great actor, and I think he really does the most he can in this role. But the makeup and writing really holds him down. But I think Oscar still manages to make the character at least watchable, as I think without his performance, it would have been unwatchable. His character is doesn't make sense. Like, he uses his powers on random people, like weak people, like citizens, to kill them with sand, but when he's fighting the X-Men, all of a sudden he's no longer as powerful as he once was. But it's just really weird. Also, why is he need four horsemen? Couldn't he get, like, multiple? I know it's a thing from the comic, and I think in the comics it's really well explained. But in the movie, it's not really explained why he only wants four. Why not have an army? Overall, I think Apocalypse, in my opinion, just got overshadowed a lot in that movie. Therefore, he didn't really get to get explained what's going on. Why is he, like, only four people following him? Overall, I think Oscar Isaac was the only reason why I thought this character was watchable. Toad. Toad I thought was nothing special, but he made an okay henchman. Not great, but he exists, and it's fine. I didn't think he had to come back, and he didn't except for that one cameo he had in Days of Future Past. But overall, I thought his character was meh. He wasn't, like I said, wasn't special, but wasn't bad. And I understand that his character was necessary as cannon fodder for Magneto's team. Sabretooth. I personally thought by making Wolverine's brother gave him a cheat to their connection to their past, and it also kind of altered what made their connection in the comics so special, and it changed it, in my opinion, for the worse, because I feel like it's kind of a cheat, and it's not as intriguing. It could be as intriguing, but it didn't really work for it, in my opinion. I know he's beastly in the comics. Sometimes I just wasn't really into it, nor was I into the character in X-Men Origins. In fact, I thought he was the most annoying character in X-Men Origins. I mean, other than Deadpool, of course, but he's the most annoying character who can talk. Gambit. I really just like what they did to Gambit. He's a great hero and anti-hero from the comics and a part of the X-Men. And he had a great romantic love interest whole thing with Rogue. But they reworked him into just being a one-note villain. And overall, I thought he didn't look like Gambit, he didn't act like Gambit. And at the end of the day, I felt like he just wasn't Gambit. Sebastian Shaw. I thought he was okay. I didn't think he was amazing, but okay. I don't understand why he was the main villain of X-Men First Class, as I'm about to get into. Personally, I just don't really care for Sebastian Shaw in the comics, and I didn't really care for him here. Emma Frost, this one kind of makes me mad as an Emma Frost fan from the comics, and in my opinion, they failed both times with this character. Well, she's been a villain in the comics before. She's not just a sidekick to Shaw. In fact, I think she should have been the leader, not Shaw, in the main villain. And while for the character in X-Men Origin who's actually a separate character than Emma Frost from First Class, even despite the fact that they had the same powers and name, I didn't care for her either. Both characters, in my opinion, were just not Emma Frost from the comic. Sword Samurai is a character I really liked. I thought he had a very cool design. He looked very visually scary and very threatening. And I liked his past with Wolverine. Overall, I really wish his character came back, and I thought he was made a very good villain. But yet again, I think perhaps if he came back, his character would have been outdone. So maybe it's better to leave well enough alone. Viper, I also think she was a really good villain, and in my opinion, the actress did a great job, and I also thought she was visually very scary when she was ripping off her face and all the skin, and it was just, the whole snake-like abilities, in my opinion, were very interesting, it's cool, and scary all at the same time, and I think that is just the best where you want your villain to be. In my opinion, I really wish her character came back, but, like Silver Samurai, she didn't. Callisto, who, in my opinion, is very different from her comic book counterpart, but she was still good. I was very impressed with how they made her just very distinct from her comic book counterpart, but still, hold her own. Which, in my opinion, was impressive. I really liked her fights with Storm. I thought she had a very cool look with the whole tattoo eye and the whole, piercings and stuff. I thought she looked very interesting. And even though her fate is kind of open-handed, did she die when Storm electrocuted her, or did she die when Jean started going berserk? It's unclear. But her character overall, I thought was very good, in my opinion, and it made a very good henchwoman. And yeah, that's it. That's it for this video, at least. I will be making part 2 and a part 3, probably, over the next couple other villains, as I didn't get into a lot of them. I didn't talk about Psylocke yet, or Juggernaut. These are only the first 11 villains I talked about, so we're going to get into it eventually another time, hopefully. And until then, like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.